Without a touch of poetry. I never knew, darling, without you, darling, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully wrong.
But nobody bothered to measure the height of the bridges, and therefore the mast on the Friday night was too big to go into anything that was in Newport. So on the Saturday morning, before we one fell off a cart. And what happened was the people watching kicked the government through the one. And so there's a little bit of banter going on. It cost us £100 with the costumes to enter the carnival. We won first place and got 10. So it was great fun. But he very much liked us to try to do different things. We also did New Year Carnival as well. And we did, and we had a go, and we had a lot of fun. Okay, moving on. We're going to go now and probably one of my favourite shows. I did this first with my dad. My dad played the captain. And we actually, I'm going to talk about South Pacific. So Andrew's going to start us off, and then you're in for a right treat as the men give you this lovely white thing.
Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger, you may see a stranger across a crowd, and somehow you'll know even then, that somehow you'll see her again. Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing, you may hear her laughing across a crowd, at night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will ring in your dreams. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, you may hear her call you across a crowd. Then fly to her side and make her your own. Over your life, may dream all alone.
We got sunlight on the sand, we got moonlight on the sea, we got mangoes and bananas you could pick right off a tree. We got volleyball and ping pong and a lot of dandy games. What ain't we got? We ain't got things. We get packages from home, we get movies, we get shows, we get speeches from our skipper and advice from Tokyo Rose. We get letters that's been working, we get teasing from the smell. What don't we get? You know damn well.
We got nothing to put on a clean white suit for. What we need is what you ain't got no substitute for.
There is nothing like a day, nothing in the world. There is nothing you can name that is anything like a day.
we all have perfect health. Oh, baby, the baby is starting to see. It's perfect and babies are we. We're perfect young ladies who hope to attract and husband is good. How about that guy at the back? Looks like a handmade suit.
Put your glasses on, Myrtle. That's Primark.
Now in the corner with the glasses on. Hey, hey.
Nah, too many ex-wives.
And shed loads of eggs. Hey, how about that handsome guy in the corner?
Oh, nose and trousers, Clara. No. Ladies are perfect young ladies are perfect young ladies are we. Any girl who's reached the age of 17 or thereabouts has but one desire in view. She knows she has reached the stage of needing one to care about. Nothing else will really do. Children kids are left behind, and her heart takes wing, hoping that she's soon to find just one thing. We've got to have courage so dreamy, got to have that certain thing called a boyfriend. We dream about and dream about, and we've begun to scream about that certain thing called a boyfriend. He is really a necessity if you want to get on. And the necessity is our saving our own. We sigh for him and cry for him, and we would gladly die for him. That certain thing called a boyfriend. We need to have, and let's go for what we have. That certain thing called a boyfriend. We say for him and say for him, we'll even misbehave for him. That certain thing called a boyfriend.
Life without us is impossible and avoidable chores. No amount of life with us will keep us out of our hearts.
We do without, and do without.
Our dreams just won't come true without that certain thing called the boyfriend. We cast like tread upon a brave steel, in silence dread, our cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. Our flies first before we be distinctly heard. Tarantara. So stealthily the pirates drift below the houses and the streets. Come, friends, brothers, sons, lost in navigation, drunken and station. Let's fly the sun. Come, friends, brothers, sons, lost in navigation, drunken and station.
Flashbang Wallet, which Dave is going to do tonight. And when I see Dave do it, and to be honest, I was thinking with my dad. My dad did that line particularly brilliant and played that part particularly well. In true family tradition, I once played the young Anne, the lead in Rock Sixpence, many years ago, long ago. And Megan followed my footsteps and played it back in 2011. And in a very persuasive moment, Meg's down in Southampton, and I'm up here in Aberdeen, or I'm there in Aberdeen. And I said, oh Meg, will you sing a dance tribute night? Yeah, she said, no problem. Got the loss in the bag. And she said, Mum, you don't really need to. Yes, I do. So, actually, I'm going to just warn you, poor Meg is actually bricking it open, because Megan hasn't sung in public since 2011. And also, Pete and Meg have not rehearsed because she's come straight from work up in Gaydon. So, here goes to Megan.
Of raising Sunday papers, what lovers' tokens are. There's amulets and talismans, like a ring or a lucky star. It'll tell that half a sovereign is what they use a lot, but sixpence is the only thing I've got. So, half a sixpence is better than half a farthing. It's better than half a penny. It's better than none. It's a token of our eternal love. When you're far away, touch it every day. And though that half a sixpence can only mean half a romance, remember that half a romance is better than none. But when I'm with you, 1 and 1 make 2, and likewise 2 half sixpences joined together make 1. Half a sixpence is better than half a penny. It's better than half a farthing. It's better than none. It's a token of our eternal love. When you're far away, touch it every day. And though that half a sixpence can only mean half a romance, remember that half a romance is better than none. But when I'm with you, 1 and 1 make 2, and likewise 2 half sixpences joined together make 1.
And nothing never seen. The skies in blue and impressive green. It hasn't got that big touch, but that don't matter very much. We make the leper fight, not like you, but people can. And when we have a little fun, oh boy, oh boy, any time any evening, any day, you'll find us all doing the wonderful. Every little number found, with a little number found, you'll find us all doing the wonderful. Hey, everything's free and easy, to us you found well pleasing. Why don't you take your way there? Go there, stay there. Once you get down number there, any evening, any day, you will find us all doing the number, doing the number, doing the number.
I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope that little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away, but anyway, I'm like the children. Oh me, oh my, I hope that little lady comes by. There's no one to do what I would wait for. on this one I'll break any day for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. She'll never leave me flat, she's not a girl like that. She's absolutely wonderful and marvellous and beautiful, and anyone can understand. I'm leaning on the land was at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by.
But it's been a great for me to see. I'm sure Anne and I every now and then keep having a bit line. Little messages go to you two sisters, you don't really have to speak. And it's been a really, really lovely evening. And I would like to thank our guests. Thank you for joining us. But most importantly, I would like to thank the members of the Music Society and Ellen and Martin who bashed us into shape. In particular, Katie, Sarah and Bryn who knocked us into shape. And obviously all the guys that like the sound etc. And membership is brilliant. And let me tell you, it's a privilege to be part of it. It truly is. Two little things just to tell you. I watched The Boyfriend and Madge is in the audience. Madge and I were chatting we met, I was just chatting to her casually. Madge reminded me of what happened. Madge and Dad were doing The Boyfriend. They were in some romantic bit on the settee, really Madge with your dad. Madge up here and Dad having a romantic bit. They were having such a good time, they fell off the settee. But the problem was, my dad's chest problem was just starting. He was laughing, he couldn't get his breath. So Madge was trying to get him to sing and get him on the chair and all the rest of it. One of those wonderful moments that often we look back and we laugh and we remember. And I said that Dad, he was smiling about I am smiling. Let me tell you, his face was such a grimace. It was a delight to see. We're going to move on now to do a couple of songs, one from Rigadoon and then that is quite meaningful for me in that probably that was the beginning of my dad's illness, if I'm honest, when we started to do Rigadoon. My dad had an incident where he was in the kitchen and I can't think how a custard pie got in Rigadoon, but it did. And Dad aspirated some of it. You'll remember that, but he aspirated it. And the person who got him out of trouble was Julie Rickle. And obviously Julie's not with us either now. So in celebrating Dad, I also celebrate Julie. He's a truly great member of the Music Society. And it was a weird night to see Julie suddenly fly into action. A midwife, a nurse, and everything. She was absolutely fantastic. So we're going to have Pete and Kate sing a duet. You will have noticed that Pete gets around. During this show, it started off in the first garden. He was in it was Leanne. Then he moved on to our Megs, and then he went on to Katie, and he's back with Katie. The good news is he's still with Katie. He's where he should be at the end. So we're going to have a lovely duet from them, from Rigadoon. And then probably in my dad's singing career, my dad's most loved song to sing, and we're going to leave that in beautiful hands to sing. And then finally, you're in for a right treat, because you're going to get Gabriel from Anything With Us.
Maybe the air gave me the power, for I could swim Loch Lomond and be home in half an hour. Maybe the sky gave me the drive, for I'm all open and alive. What a day it has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Yes, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Yes, it's almost like being in love. And the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling, I could swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. As I walked through the rain,
Love, unrequited, robs me of me rest. Love, hopeless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on me chest, and weaves itself into my midnight slumber. When you're lying awake with a dismal headache and repose is tabooed by anxiety, I invite you to use any language you choose and indulge in without impropriety. For your head is on fire, the bedclothes conspire of usual slumber to plunder you. First the counterpane goes and uncovers your toes, then the sheet sits familiarly from under you. The blanketing tickles, it feels like it's pickles, so terribly sharp is the pricking. And you're hot and you cross and you turn and you toss, so there's nothing to do when they're ticking. Next the bedclothes will creep to the ground and then keep and you pick them all up in a tangle. Then the pillow resigns and politely declines to remain at its usual angle. When you get some repose in the form of a doze with hot eyeballs and head ever aching, but your head is just slipped with such horrible dreams that you'd very much rather be waking. For you dream you are crossing the channel and tossing aboard a large steamer from Harwich, which is something between a large bathing machine and a very small second-class carriage. And you're giving a treat, any ice and cold meat to a party of friends and relations. They're a ravenous horde, and they all got on board at Sun Square and South Kensington stations. And Baron and Shirley, you meet your attorney who started that morning from Devon. He's a bit undersized, and you are not surprised when he tells you he's only 11. Now you're driving like mad with this notable land by the ship's now a four-wheeler, and you're playing round games and he calls you bad names when he tells you the time-paid dealer. Well, this circumstance, you throw up your hands and you're certainly cold as an icicle. In your shirt and your socks, the black silk and gold clock, crossing Salisbury Plains on a bicycle. And the lads in the crew are on bicycles too, which they've somehow or other invested in. And he's selling the tars of the particle glass of the company he's interested in. It's a scheme of devices to get at low prices on horses and cockroaches and cables. And it tickles the sailors by treating the sailors as though they were raw vegetables. First you get him with spades who punch you a tradesman, first take off his boots with a boot tree. First his legs will take root, then his fingers will shoot and he'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the green goes a tree, you get grapes and green peas, cauliflower, pineapple and cranberries. From the bacon and hard cherry brandy will prance up with vinegar, blackberries and amberries. The chairs are a penny and ever so many are taken by Stockard and Berry. And just as a few are allotted to you, you awake with a shudder despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck. No wonder you snore, for your head's on the floor. You've needles and pins from your soles to your shins. Your flesh is a creep and your left leg's a leap. You'll drop on your lung and a feverish tongue, a fly in your nose and cramp in your toes. A thirst that's intense and a general sense that you haven't been sleeping in clover. But the night time is past, and it's daylight at last. The night has been long, ditto, ditto this song. And thank goodness they're both of them over.
The people who provide the food, headed up by Matt. John on lights and sound. Stephanie, Ellen, and Martin. Contributions of everybody who's attended tonight and paid for their tickets, and the cast members who put their subscriptions towards fundraising. Even before the raffles and the bar collections tonight, we have a donation that we can already make to St. David's Hospice, rather. And so I'd like to welcome John Routling, you'll see why Freudian slip, to accept a donation on behalf of St. David's Hospice. And if Jan could possibly make a donation, we'd be most grateful.
I
volunteer for St David's just 1 day a week. But I can tell you now that this will make a big difference. We treat 2,500 patients at any one time in Caerphilly and the whole of Gwent. And it takes now, because they've taken over St Anne's Hospice, and that's the inpatient hospice, they treat people at home because they find that 98% of people would rather be treated in their own homes. So altogether they have to raise now £7.5 million a year to run. They don't charge anybody a halfpenny, and this will go a long way to helping them. Thank you.
Do you hear that playing? Yes, I hear that playing. Do you know who's playing? No, who's that playing? It's Gabriel, Gabriel playing, Gabriel, Gabriel saying, will you be ready to go when I blow my horn? Oh, blow, Gabriel.
very much for